This is Henry from AsOne Uganda, and the future is really happening.
So 2014, when it all started, I was coming out of my junior year of college at Dakota Wesleyan. And I really wanted to come to Uganda, to East Africa on that trip. And I really wanted to come with the motivation to build relationships, to build friendships, to watch and to learn and to listen, and to see how God was already at work amongst the world's poor. And I met some of the most fantastic people. Meeting them set my heart on fire.
The first time I met Andrew Divani was when he had come to Africa as a student. He wanted to learn almost everything about Africa in just that one short trip. The more they came up, the more they wanted to learn more about Africa, about our community, about our way of life, to the extent that they almost felt like living the life that we were living. So that he showed me that there is something different, something great that God was building in them together.
When I first met with Andrew, we were both young and very passionate. It is the first time I saw somebody whom we could sit and define how serving people in communities and impacting them differently can look like.
I learned early on some convictions, some values that were gained during that time that have been the foundation for what AsOne is today. First and foremost, there can't be significant change without significant relationships. The second conviction I had was around empowering local people to be the change, empowering local people to have the opportunity to create change and to help lead change within the communities, environments they grew up in. And lastly, create a sustainable mechanism for helping the world's poor get out of the circumstances that they found themselves in.
The biggest struggle is to educate people to break the chain of dependency. Charity cannot be sustainable, development can be more sustainable. No matter how many things you can give to somebody or somebody who is poor, they will still demand and they will still feel like they are not contented. But once you provide the sustainable services, it has a bigger impact in the whole nation.
So then it was in 2015, the end of 2015, that we officially formed ourselves as an organization and we started doing different initiatives. We learned a ton of lessons along the way.
We got to explore what these people go through in the rural setting. Kids not being able to go to schools or schools being far away. Most of the people are concentrating on setting up schools in urban settings. Health facilities also being far away. So where our story started from is in the rural setting, and we saw that if these services are extended into the rural settings for these people, it would create access for these people and to these services.
So in 2018, we decided we were going to begin with this holistic model, and we were going to build a school, a hospital or a health center, a farm, and a business that could serve as a vocational training center. We worked in rural communities where the majority of Uganda's population lives, but they have the least access to some of the most important resources that they need to live fully into the way that God designed them and made them to be. So we were going to be concentrated, we were going to be deeply and relationally connected to these communities that we were working in. We wanted to create something that could be sustainable. So through our holistic model, we wanted to be able to generate all of the cost that it takes to operate the organization and maintain the assets that we've built to come locally through school fees, through payments at our health centers, through revenue that we're able to generate through our farms and our business entities. And then we want it to be scalable. We want to be able to replicate into different communities across the country ultimately so that we could continue to keep this movement of Ugandans empowering Ugandans.
In so doing, the people that are getting involved within these projects feel really part of the development, let it be of their child taken to school because of what they are contributing into the school, because of what they are contributing into the health sector or into the health clinics. Hence, it creates a community of people that embrace the development that has come into their community, and they feel really, really part of the development that is going on in the area.
And we've seen over the past 5 years this vision come to life. Today we're working in 5 communities. We're about to have 5 fully established communities across Uganda, and we believe the sky is the limit. We've seen this vision come to life, and I think the coolest thing about it for me is we've been able to work diligently. We've been able to work really hard to create an environment that is helping young Ugandans be raised up, become more passionate and ignited in their faith, to see the ways that God has called them, to see the ways that God has gifted them, to go live that out in their communities, utilizing their skills to meet the major needs that their communities face. And so AsOne's become this leadership and this discipleship making machine almost that is helping people's dreams come to life. And by watching that happen, we're just seeing this rippling effect take place across the different communities that we're working in.
We started not knowing where we are going. We tried to define where we are going, and God has been so supportive unto what we are doing. My hope for the future is that we create hundreds, thousands of people that have a passion of impacting fellow locals to the level of self-sustainability, the level of knowing God and loving to serve Him and impacting their communities.
We are working together to build God's kingdom here on earth, and I deeply believe that this is so much more than we originally envisioned.
With AsOne, from where we started to where we are now, and to what we see God doing through AsOne, I just think and I just see things just really getting started.
It feels like we are just getting started.
AsOne is just getting started.
Is just getting started.